Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you had a great week. Today is April 21, 2023, and this is your Friday planning video. This week was definitely one you'll want to check out on Monday with the Monday market update. Not to spoil it too much, but the quote you've heard me say a lot, lots of sound and fury signifying nothing. Well, much of last week was like that. And that was with a lot of Fed heads and the earnings. So let's leave it that for Monday. Sorry, I get excited to tell you about that, but let's dig into some timely planning ideas. April is Financial Literacy Month, but before I get into adding to your financial literacy, let me make sure we handle the compliance end. This is very important. I do not give personal tax advice, nor do I give legal advice. I'm going to talk today about some estate planning ideas in the general sense, and I encourage you to work with me and your estate planning attorney on implementing however many of these are appropriate for you. If you want your attorney and I to collaborate on your behalf, please let us know. There's a form that we need to get on file to protect your personal information. Okay, today I want to give you 7 steps getting yourself up to date on your estate plan. I've been working on checklists lately. Just to be qualified for a commercial airline pilot, you need 1,500 hours of flight time. That's over 17% of the hours in a year. Even with all of that practice, pilots use pre-flight checklists every time they fly. We should do that when we plan. Here's a short checklist to work off of for an updated look at your estate plan. This list will help guide you when you go to meet with your estate planning attorney. Once you do this, I'm sorry to report, you'll have to revisit it frequently as the laws keep changing and your life keeps changing. According to a recent CNN Money survey, only 35 to 45% of Americans have this in place. Do you know what it is? Yes, you are correct, a will. Let's make this step 1, create or revise your will. This one's simple and no one wants to address it. If you die without a will, the state, not you, will decide who gets your assets. Now, in many states, this will be okay, but do you want to leave that to chance? This is also super important to protect your wealth so that it goes to the intended heirs and not all to taxes. So step 1, create and revise the will, then annually repeat, check it. Step 2, this one will ring a bell if you've heard any of my videos. Review your beneficiaries. This is so important and such a common thing to ignore. Life event, change the beneficiaries. Birth, or check the beneficiaries for sure. Birth, death, marriage, divorce, they all qualify. This goes for trusts too. If you have an old trust that you're the trustee, you may forget that there's usually a successor trustee named in the event of your passing or incapacitation. Do you remember who you named? Check that out. Step 3, power of attorney. This one comes into play a lot. Please check who has your power of attorney. If you issue a new one, please revoke the old one properly if that's what you intend to do. This is so important and it can really be a problem if it's not done right. Also, review with the attorney the rights that you want to give this POA. Step 4, healthcare power of attorney. This is what it sounds like, and it's important as it is as important as it sounds also. This will outline your wishes as to your healthcare, including interventions, in the event that you can no longer make those decisions. Without this, you could leave your loved ones wondering what you wanted, and that is a painful time. Step 5, gift planning. This is not for everyone, but if you intend to implement a gifting strategy during your lifetime, you should set it up and start it going. The best plans don't help you in this case unless you actually make it happen. Step 6, your state does matter. In almost everything I've already mentioned, and taxes too, state rules and laws, and even estate and inheritance taxes may come into play. This can and should be taken into account when and if you move. You may or may not need to have your documents rewritten. Finally, step 7, life insurance check. Do you have it? Do you know what you have? Is it easy to find? Are the beneficiaries correct? It's a great time to review what you have and if you need what you have. Now that we've gone over the steps and the work that needs to be done, let me remind you of an item that I spoke about a few weeks ago. And the actual product and who made this one doesn't matter. NOK storage plan. That is the next of kin, NOK. I have seen them as big file folders or online cloud-based folders, whatever it is. Agatha Christie wrote about the case of the missing will. If you don't know who Agatha Christie is, please look her up. If your heirs cannot find it, that makes things very difficult and heart-wrenching. This is not only the kind of thing that happens in books, so please make sure your heirs know where to find everything. Okay, I'll admit it, it's not one of the most uplifting videos for this week, but look at the bright side. Don't you feel better in school? Didn't you feel better in school when you prepared for the test? Aren't you happy that the airline pilot checks his or her list? This is as important as the goal setting that we do and we talk about often. So more timely planning ideas next week. The last day of Financial Literacy Month will be next Friday, so stay tuned. As always, if you have questions, please let me know. Have a great weekend and stay in touch.